Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. So the three tips in this video are going to guarantee to improve your playing. But before we go into them, I just want to very quickly tell you about my 1 to 30 violin course. So my 1 to 30 violin course is a fully comprehensive and professional course that guarantees to take you from a complete beginner to an accomplished intermediate level by the end of it. The course is very simple and easy to understand without the commitment of an in-person tutor, but it does guarantee to give you the same level of skill that you would get from a private tutor. The course has been designed so that anyone of any age and any level can follow it. The lessons and videos are super easy to follow and absolutely no prior knowledge of any instrument or music is needed to start this course. The course is going to cover everything from how to hold the violin, how to hold the bow, how to read music. There's going to be some technical exercises in there to prove your skill and dexterity, music theory, bowing techniques, more complex pieces, and just much more. There's no other course like this available on the internet, and the results and reviews absolutely speak for themselves. My course will take you from this to this. The course is fully downloadable, is available worldwide, and you can purchase from my shop, www.amsmusicshop.com. It is $59.99 US, and you can get started straight away. I should add in that these books are 100% downloadable, so there is nothing physical that will be shipped out to you. So all you're going to need is your violin and bow and your enthusiasm to get started. I'd also just like to quickly mention as well about my two subscription websites. I've got a Patreon one and I've got my own one, onlineviolin.tutor.com. Both of them are exactly the same. They're just subscription websites, $10 monthly, but they give you access to my complete back catalogue of violin sheet music. There's some violin cover pieces in there as well. There's a little bit of easy piano music. There's some violin backing tracks. There's a couple of other bits and bobs as well. It's a $10 monthly subscription, but the catalogue is added to on a monthly basis. And off the top of my head, there are, I think, just over 800 sheets of easy violin sheet music that you can quickly gain access to. But it's either or, so don't subscribe. There's no need to subscribe to both of them. Either subscribe to my Patreon, either subscribe to my website. All the details will be underneath this video for you. Okay, so the first tip that is going to be guaranteed to improve your violin playing is to practice playing slowly. Now, I know that's very frustrating to do that, and it sounds really obvious, but it's something that a lot of people just don't do. In fact, they do the opposite. They want to play super duper fast. You should not be playing anything fast until you get more confident with it, or until you have improved sufficiently with it. Now, obviously, if you are playing a slow piece of music anyway, that you're not going to be speeding it up eventually, but you just need to focus your practice on playing it slow so that you can make sure you've got every note, every nuance, every finger in the right place on the violin, every bow stroke is consistent, all of this kind of stuff. And you can't really focus on any of those things if you're playing too fast, because it's the brain doesn't have time to process what's going on along with the eyes and the fingers, and what's going on with all the violin and things. So just make sure that you are practicing slowly, and you will make so much more improvement. It's almost like one of those tips that nobody really tells you about, you know, but it's just so crucial, and it guarantees to help improve your playing. Okay, tip number 2, a little bit more about practice again. Hone in on the mistakes and the difficult passages. So don't just brush over mistakes. Don't just sweep those mistakes under the rug. Really focus in on them. An idea that you can do is to record yourself, whether that's video or audio. I know a lot of people don't really like sort of doing that sort of thing, but it's the best way to kind of teacher yourself, especially if you are self-learning or self-teaching. So record yourself playing, play it back, have the music in front of you, follow the music through, as I would do if I was a teacher, and you were my student in the room. I would have the music in front of me. I'd get you to play it through to start with, just to see where we are, and then I'd circle any problems that I think you might have, and then after you've played it through, we'd go back over the circle one by one and decide what it was that was wrong and how can we fix that. Then you would go away for a week, work on all those little bits, and I would expect you to come back the following week. Perfect, boom, no more circles. So you just sort of repeat the process again, and hopefully that we don't, we get less and less those circles. So hone in on the mistakes and the difficult passages, and then what that can mean is that you have a passage that's very difficult, and you play that passage over and 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 over, and then over and over and over and over some more, and then over and over and over some more. You get the point. So you don't want to be playing that passage 3, 4, 5 times. You really want to aim to be playing that particular passage for anywhere between sort of 50 to 100 times. Now that sounds like a lot, sounds really boring, but that's called practice, and I just don't think people focus and practice enough. I would go so far as to say that if you played a sort of a 2-3 bar passage that was causing you some difficulty 50 times, however long that takes you to do, however long the passage is, whatever, I guarantee that after the 50th time you will have nailed it for sure. And if you haven't, you do it another 50 times. Don't forget that's added in with point 1, which is playing slowly. So you'd start off by playing it 10 times really slow, 10 more times a little bit faster, 10 more times a little bit faster than that. So practicing isn't difficult, it's just really boring, but it's a necessary evil to get you where you want to get. And we've all gone through it, and that's what professionals do when they practice. It really is that, but we only really see the fruits of that. So whenever you see me play, or whenever I go out to weddings and events and I do performances, they're only seeing the final result of that. What they don't see is those hours of hours and years and decades that I've put in prior to all that to be able to just go out and just play a little piece on the violin. So if you can hone in on your mistakes and make your practicing a lot better, you will progress a lot faster. And the third thing that you can do is to choose a technique that is in a mistake or a difficult passage, or something you generally find difficult, or a weak area, and just focus on that for a whole week or maybe 2 weeks, depending. So whatever kind of technique that is that you need practice on, maybe it's playing really fast, something like that. So work on exercises and things like that are going to help you play really fast. So that would mean playing everything really slowly to start with, repetitively, and building up from there. And maybe just focus on that for a week. So don't do anything else. Don't do any of the technical exercises, the scales and arpeggios that you might be working on. Don't practice any other pieces. Just focus on that technique. Now, it might sound a bit counterintuitive to what I've just said there. Don't practice any scales and any other pieces, but we're only talking a week here. A week in the whole grand scheme things isn't going to make any difference at all. A week not playing a piece of music here and there isn't going to be detrimental, but just focusing a week on that one particular technique will have you nailing that technique by the end of the week, and then you can get on with it, get going, carry on with the rest of it, and you've nailed that technique. There we go. Just 3 very quick, simple tips that will guarantee to help improve your violin playing. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out the links to my 1 to 30 violin course and my Patreon site and my website subscription site, either or for those. The links will be directly underneath this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye.